So at Harbour, you'll have a very warm welcome. You come along, you don't need to book in, just sign up. You can say when you come whether you would like a coaching session. There's space for you to work, and there's free Wi-Fi for you to be able to access the internet if that's needed. Coffee and tea is available free through the day, and also lunch is free. We also run a workshop from about 2 till 3. So we hope to provide workshops that are relevant to the people who are actually coming along. So we try and get an idea from people what it is that they need at the time. And then we do a variety of workshops. So for example, marketing. We're thinking about doing one on HR soon as well. And we obviously get an appropriate speaker in who's an expert in those areas to do an informal workshop so that people have got space and time to ask any questions that they have that's relevant to their business. We wanted to start a co-working space because my husband and I have both experienced the value of it in reducing isolation for people who maybe work alone. But we wanted to target 3 separate groups of people. So firstly, people who work from home for themselves or for a bigger company, but who would maybe benefit from getting together with other people and just to work in the same space. So we recognise that mental health issues are on the increase with more and more people working from home. And we have a real heart for people with mental health issues. And so even for myself as an introvert, I recognise the need for community and connection and benefit from being amongst other people. The second group is people who maybe want to start up their own business or enterprise. And that can be a lonely and a difficult journey. And we wanted to provide a support network for people who were in that situation, for them to come along, mix with other people who were either starting their own business themselves or who were maybe a bit further down the line and could teach them something about starting their own business and getting off the ground. The third group of people is people who are not yet in employment, who are unemployed and who are struggling maybe through various challenges. So they can come along and experience a safe place for them to get back into a more professional environment and receive coaching to maybe help them to identify and overcome the challenges to getting into employment. So for example, people who are struggling with their mental health or anxiety, and they might need to build up their confidence, or people who are neurodiverse and want more experience of being in a safe place amongst friends to get used to the work environment. We chose the name Harbour because we like the concept of having this safe space where people can come in and find community and belonging. Like where individuals or businesses are like boats out on the open sea, they can come into this safe place to build relationships, to make connections that are going to benefit one another, to provide that sense of belonging, but also to get resourced for going back out into the open sea and the storms of life in business and employment. Coaching at its very basic level is a conversation. But coaches are trained in lots of things, but specifically 2 skills. So first of all, in asking questions, questions that will help people to think, maybe think around a subject in a different way and think about things from a different perspective. And the second skill is in listening. So a coach will listen at different levels to what you're saying, to what your body language is saying, but also to what you're not saying, to try and help you and reflect back about what actually might be going on in the situation. So it's getting an understanding of where you are up to at the moment, where you would like to move to, and what steps you're going to take to get there. It's about developing and moving forward, and quite different from mentoring. So it's not about telling you what to do or what you need to do. It's about helping you to discover within yourself what your questions are, what your needs are, and how you would like to move forward. Harbour differs from other co-working spaces because, well, from a practical point of view, we offer free coaching, which we were very aware when we started our business was not available to everybody. For example, people who were unemployed or who were just starting out on their business journey, they didn't have the available funds to pay for coaching. So by providing coaching within our co-working spaces, it's a real added value compared to other co-working events or spaces, and also other networking events. The other way it's different is that we use our coaching approach not just within coaching sessions, but for the whole day. So our approach is based on the fact that we don't think that we're experts on every area of business, but we're prepared to meet people where they're up to and to give them the support that they need going forward. So we don't try and preempt what people need. We want to hear from people what they need and then try and respond to that. So we aim to be a responsive co-working space. And that works itself out very much in the workshops that we run. So we want to hear where people are up to and what actually they would benefit from in workshops. So for example, we did an exercise recently in a workshop where we got people to do a 360-degree evaluation of their business or their startup that they're thinking about, and to really score themselves on where they were up to with lots of different areas, for example, finance, marketing, administration, legal issues, and then to tell us what their greatest need was, so what area their scores were lowest on. And that enabled us then to shape the next workshop where most people needed some extra help. So we made the next workshop about marketing. And also we try and make our workshops very informal. So we have time for a bit of input and we get an expert in that area, but also time to allow people to ask the questions that they really need answering in order for them to move forward at the time. We don't presume that we're going to know what they need. I think thirdly as well, we want to offer a co-working space that is a real community. So I've been to co-working spaces in other places and they're great and they do what they say on the tin. You can go in, you can use a desk space, there are other people around, but they're not always terribly welcoming. I have been to one where nobody talked to me at all, and that's not the kind of space that we want to offer. We want to provide a space where people really belong to a community, so they build relationships. One of the ways that we do that is providing the free lunch and encouraging people to stop what they're doing, which is healthy anyway, to have a break at lunchtime, but also to get together and just form relationships. And sometimes out of that, we've moved on to brainstorming to help people to overcome some of the challenges or issues that they're facing in their business, from thinking about social media to maybe discovering what they want their business to be named. We wanted to do Harbour monthly here at Crosby Collective. So it happens on the second Thursday of every month. From 9:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. People can come all day or they can come for part of the day. It's open to whatever people feel that they need. I think going forward, one of the things that we learned is the importance of having somebody on the ground. And so we're going to endeavour to be on site, hopefully once a week, in order to build up that momentum, because we find that often when people have action steps from their coaching sessions, to wait a whole month for some people is a long time, and so they need that accountability, that checking in a little bit more frequently. And so we're hoping to make ourselves available once a week for people, not necessarily run a full Harbour, but to be on the ground a bit more often. So Harbour's been funded over the last year by the UK Government Community Renewal Fund. And we went for funding because we recognise that coaching is expensive, especially for small businesses or people who are unemployed. And so we wanted to make coaching accessible for people in those situations. And getting the funding from the government enabled us to provide coaching and the co-working space, free lunch, free at point of contact for those businesses. That funding was for pilot projects, and we wouldn't have been able to do this as a pilot, as a business, without that funding. And it's enabled us to spend the last year really learning lots of lessons about running a co-working space and what best fits the community that we're in. Going forward, because that funding's come to an end, going forward, it's now going to be funded for the next few months by the Lincolnshire Community Foundation, which we're very grateful for, and hope to get some more funding in the future. We had one person who came to Harbour. They were referred from the job centre, and they were struggling to get into employment, mainly through mental health issues, struggling with anxiety. And they came along, and literally the first day they were shaking from head to toe. They were so nervous. On that first day, we invited this person to stop the work that they were doing and to join us for lunch. And they initially declined. They felt too nervous to come and join a group of people that they didn't know. After a few minutes of us starting to eat and some of us chatting, she decided to join us at the table, which was great. And she said that they really enjoyed that first day. Fast forward a few months, and we had a message from this person to say that they couldn't come anymore, which we were very sad about, but really happy because she had been able to get into employment. And they would say that that was because they'd been able to build their confidence through coming along to Harbour on a monthly basis and having some coaching sessions to think around what those challenges were, what was causing the anxiety, and how she might overcome those challenges to get into employment. And a sign of that building and confidence really showed itself when we stopped for lunch. So the lunch order came in, and instead of needing to be invited to come and join the group eating lunch, this person was the person who got the list of everybody's lunch orders and dished out everybody's lunch orders to them. Just a totally different person from the one that had turned up maybe 5 months previously. Brimming with confidence, able to chat away to people, even people that she'd never met before. And for us, that's a massive win. That makes it all worthwhile.
I'm Lee Coleman. My company is Refrigeration Design and Drafting Services. I provide a service to some of the large retail and industrial companies that provide refrigeration services. I provide a service where I actually provide them with technical drawings and design solutions for some of their installations. Harbour provided me with the opportunity to come and work with other people. I'm used to working with 20 to 30 other people in a team with my previous employers. So now, because I'm the only one working in my company, I don't get that same kind of contact. So coming here to Harbour provides me with a little human contact. But in addition to that, there are other things going on. There's discussions going on regarding different aspects of business, which I can learn from as well in running my own business and looking at things like marketing, promotions, that sort of thing. So for me, twofold, I guess, the contact and the help, the coaching side. If you're running your own business, if you're looking to run your own business, it's a great opportunity to come and talk with other people who are in the same boat as yourself. You can learn off them, even if you think you know everything you need to know, there's always something which you can pick up that will help you move forward. Or even if you're just starting out and you want to ask awkward questions that you don't know where to ask them, come down to Harbour. There'll be somebody here who will be able to give you a bit of guidance, a bit of help in moving forward.